What a strange slide. Throw in the towel or wipe off the sweat. Sounds like a motivational talk, doesn't it? Maybe it is. That actually comes from an old Gatorade ad. And the actual quote is, you have a choice. You can throw in the towel or you can use it to wipe the sweat off your face. And it's true. We're always at that choice in life as to whether we're going to continue on the path we're on or we're going to just give it up. And there are certain things that we should give up. There are certain things that we should choose not to do. But many times there's things that we really wanted to experience, to express into life. And it got hard. And so we said no. I got a long list of those in my life. And that's, it's okay. I'm not saying that we're bad or wrong for doing that. But some of us can lose our way with that kind of a challenge. We can think somehow that we're not engaged in life enough, and we give up like one project, but what it means to us is something deeper, that maybe we're not the person we thought we were. Maybe we're not here doing life as well as we think we could. And so I thought that was maybe worth a conversation today, to see if there's something in there that we can learn about ourselves through that process. I know that there are many people that would say they never throw in the towel, but I think it's in most cases a natural part of life. You're either because sometimes we do get overwhelmed. We go to a place where it's just easier to say no more. And again, at times that's okay, but there's other times where I think maybe we can re-engage, where we can look at this in a different way and possibly work our way through it. And when we do that in life, I think life gets better. Recently we set so much stuff down with our community over the last year and a half that it's kind of interesting to be picking it back up. I've had a challenging year, and I won't deny that. Barbara's health challenges, I'm her primary support. She has the blessing of some other people that support her, but it's mostly she and I. And I'm over here at the center, and I just wanted kudos to our staff who became volunteers during this time. We're negotiating Margot and Rick and coming back, and Crystal's already back working. Crystal, why did I say? I did that because she's right there. I meant April. And so all that's starting to rev back up. And at the end of the day, I would often just feel so tired. And then something happened a couple of weeks ago. I decided to do a summer prosperity class. I decided we're going to bring in new members, and we're going to have a membership meeting in July. And suddenly I'm feeling reinvigorated. Isn't that weird? I add all these tasks to my list, and I feel better. Because it feels like we're accomplishing something. And I'm not here just to maintain through this pandemic. I want us to thrive. I want our community to be strong and healthy as it has always been. That's not true for a lot of the communities in our movement. A number of them have lost their buildings. Not lost, that's not fair. They have set down their relationship with their landlord and done things online. And some of them aren't really looking toward getting back into a room together, which is sad to me, but that's their path. I get it. But I want for us to have the best experience we can as spiritual community. I found over these 30 years of doing this work that the spiritual community aspect of this is really sacred. It's where we connect with people of like minds. It's where we know that we're safe. It's where we come together to remember the truth. And it really makes a difference. So to have you here as part of this means so much to me, to know that we're moving forward. And I know it's hard for some people to find their way into the room after everything that we've been through. I got an email this week from a couple who used to come regularly, and they haven't been here since the pandemic hit. And they heard about Barbara's physical challenges, her medical challenges that are going on, and sent me this lovely email saying, how can we help? And I sat with it for about 3 days because I wanted to be very careful how I responded, because their request was very sincere. They wanted to know what they could do. And I explained that Barbara and I have a routine, and we're getting everything done we need to get done, that the errands get run and the tasks get done, and that what we would really like from them is for them to come back into the room. Because the thing that vitalizes us is to see this place work. And as we've announced our retirement, even though we don't have an end date, we're still working on that, we do want to leave this place as healthy as we possibly can. And there's still a bunch of people that haven't found their way back into the room. So it seemed very logical to do that. So in telling you that story, I just want to say how important it is to me, and I believe to Barbara, for you to come here and be here. And just for a moment to speak to those that are watching us online, you too, how important it is for us to know that we are touching your life and so many lives out in the world. So thank you. So what do we do with all of this? We've grappled with this thing called a pandemic. We've basically gotten through it. We've struggled. We've lost some things. We've had to alter our behavior. We've done all of these things, and some things have fallen through the cracks. Not because we wanted them to, but they just did. Some things just didn't get done that we wanted. And so that's why I bring this kind of silly attitude of the towel to our conversation. Because, yes, things have been hard. And they're going to continue in some ways to be hard. And that's got to be okay. And that's not a good enough reason not to get out of life what you came to get and to be who you've come to be. It's not enough. And it's certainly not going to work to criticize others that are trying to find their way through this. And, politics these days seems to be all about criticizing instead of supporting and finding a way to see value in what's happening. And I'm not taking sides on that at all. In fact, I'm wondering if sides is really the best thing for us to have, but it's what we have. But what happens with that is that we have critics. We have people that judge us for what we do. I can remember a lot of times people judging me when I was serving as the president of our international organization and as the field leader. There were critics. There were people that kind of targeted me. And it was hard for me to understand why that was important for people to do. And then I found a quote from a politician, from someone that had been in politics all his adult life, and someone who lived a good bit ago. He was actually very, very involved in American politics around the turn of the 20th century, way back then. And I want to share. I don't have my clicker this morning. Do I? No, I don't. So I'm going to need some help. So here's the fellow I want to tell you about, and his name is Theodore Roosevelt. A powerful leader of this country during the turn of the 20th century. And these were words from a speech he gave in Spain. I think it was in 1909. And I want you to read these words with me. I'll read them aloud. It's not the critic who counts. Not the man that points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who knows at the worst, if he fails, at least fails daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Our job is not to care how other people feel about what we're doing in the world. Our job is to care about who we are and what we bring to this world. And if this pandemic has slowed you down, I invite you to get back into the game. I invite you to step up and be who you've come here to be. To do what you've come to do and make the difference that only you can make in the world. It's powerful work that we do. It's important work that we do. The fact that you understand this teaching at whatever level in your life and that you can share that gently, not proselytizing, but gently to those around you, lifts them up. It helps them through their burdens. It helps us all to remember that God is right here, that there's nothing to seek, nothing to find, nothing that we don't already know that is within us, to be who we've come to be, to live our lives fully. I've noticed something, and I want to try it out on you. I want you to think about a time in your life which was really hard, not this pandemic, but go back further in your life to a time when something was really hard. Someone died, a relationship ended, you got fired from your dream job. Whatever else was there in your life, it was really hard. Think of it for a moment. And I know that you're thinking of it because the energy just collapsed in this room. Now I want you to think beyond that. What happened in the next 1 to 2 years of your life? And I'll bet you something glorious, something amazing happened to you in that period right after that really low point. That you were lifted up to something that was so wonderful, so meaningful, so valuable to you, that it changed your perspective completely to where you could deal with whatever that pain was, whatever that heartbreak was, so that you could be absolutely present in the moment and remember who you were. That's happening right now. That same formula is unfolding in your life right now. That you've endured this burden, this way of being in the world that seems so unnatural, so contrary to who you are. And you've made it through it. There's still residuals, I know. But basically, I can say you've made it through it. You didn't die from the virus. You didn't commit suicide. You didn't give up on life. You're still here. So there's something wonderful that's about to happen in your life. And when it shows up, don't miss it. Don't rationalize it away. Let it be real for you. Let it carry you into this next phase of your life and this experience called human life on planet Earth. Let it be for you exactly what it is intended to be, something great and wonderful. And knowing that I'm running out of time, I'm going to go off into these other things that I want to talk to you about. We're going to do this really quick. I have 3 ideas on how you can demonstrate the power to keep going in your life. The first one is to get back in the game. We've all dropped the ball on something, and the best way to get this going is to decide what it is that maybe you were going to do that didn't get done, that didn't happen, and pick it up. Pick it up and see what you can do with it. See what you can make happen with that. Because there's something wonderful about saying yes. I already told you the story about how suddenly I'm feeling all energized about taking on these additional tasks here at the center. That's what will happen to you. It will not create a burden in your life that there's more to do. It will actually energize you to be more present in your life and to have that fullness and that richness in everything that you're experiencing. I've actually seen that in Cliff. Since he's come back and picked up the music here, he's having a ball in his life. If you're into herbs and herb remedies, talk to the man. He's brilliant with that stuff. And there's lots of others of you that have done this kind of thing. So that's the first advice, is to go ahead and just pick it up, something, and work it through and see if it doesn't change your energy in your life. The second one is to measure your performance. There's another quote from a company called Garmin, an old quote that says, "Motivation cannot be measured, but performance can." This isn't about judging. It's just about seeing that when you take on a task, you really do get things done. It doesn't all happen the first day, but something happened. And what I want you to invite to do with this measure your performance is to actually be conscious when things happen, when you cause things to happen, or when, because you've made the commitment, things around you happen. And what you do with that, those little mini improvements in performance, is celebrate them. Do the happy dance. Tell somebody that you love that this got done. Be happy about it. And get that you really are making progress. Don't feel stuck, because if you feel stuck, you'll create stuckness in your life. And nobody wants that. Everybody wants something meaningful to be engaged in. So measure your performance. And the last one is to do your best and complete what you start. Forget about all the things that didn't get finished in the past, that didn't work out. Forget about all that. Let's focus on this thing, whatever it is in your life that you want to take on, and know that you can do it. Know that it actually will create an opening in your life, not just for that task to be completed, but for you to function at a higher level in everything you do. This is what I'm working on. This is what I want. I want this remaining time at this center to be absolutely glorious. I want it to be filled with connection and value in people's lives. I want this to be, as I complete this work over whatever months are left, I want it to be really a happy time for me and for everybody that comes here. So I invite you to join me in that and to know that. Now, if you happen to have been here last week, everyone that accepted the challenge of the task that I gave you, I want you to know you don't need to tell me about that. You don't need to tell me how it worked out, because the agreement that you made was really with you. I was just your witness. So knowing that something wonderful happened, either in understanding or in actual demonstration, I just wanted to make sure you knew that that was so. I want you to be successful. You don't have to open a big company. You don't have to run for political office. You don't have to do any of those things. I want you to be happy. And you may have noticed at the beginning of our celebration, there was an Ernest Holmes quote that talked about what success is. He talked about how it's our sense of ourselves that we have success. It's not about position. It's not about dollars. It's not about anything that we may accomplish in life. It's how we feel about ourselves. And knowing that creates success. So I see you as successful in every way, in all that you do. And I invite you to join me in that knowing today and every day. I love you so much. Thank you.